What is up, YouTube and all my fish keeping friends? How is everybody doing out there in fish tank land? I hope y'all are enjoying your Sunday evening. It should be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if I got the times right. I had to change it once. Computer's acting up, and YouTube is making it harder and harder every day to do a live stream. It feels like. Let me go and check out the chat, see who's up in here. I saw that Dan Slee was first up in the chat. Griffin's Fish Room, how are you? Sharpies Models and Aquatics. Storm Riders Aquatics, how are you? Zen Ginger, welcome to the stream. I really didn't put out a post too early on this. I've been out all day. Mile High Placos, how are you? I've been out on an adventure today collecting fish. William Jansen, how are you? So yeah, I was out collecting wild guppies today in a couple of different spots, and there's one landowner that kind of keeps his property a little bit more pristine than others. So, he's a good friend of mine, and we did a little walk through his gardens and stuff like that, and I rolled the camera for a little bit of that, so I kind of have an interview with him as well. So I hope to share that with you guys. I'm excited about it. I'm ready to just start editing it. It's one of them things when you have content you are really happy with, or footage you're really happy with, it makes you even more excited to sit down and edit it. So, like, I have other stuff on the drawing boards that I'm halfway edited with, done editing, but I'm like ready to just, I want to finish. I want to go ahead and edit what I did today. So I did collect some guppies today, but I did not keep them. I returned them to the wild. I just wanted to take a look at what the males were looking like in this one stream, one area of a stream, a couple of pools that I haven't checked out yet. It's cool stuff. I really enjoy getting out into the wild and collecting wild fish, and I'm lucky to have the opportunity to do it here. So, I've been slacking off. Money's been a stress, and so that has been a push to, it's kind of kept me from running around, even going to the beach, getting any color. But, yeah, I've had a couple job offers. I'm actually stressing right now because I've had a couple of job offers, and I wish I could just sell fish for a living. Hence the title, hence the thumbnail and the title of the live stream today. Just comparing the differences between the fish keeping hobby and the fish keeping business, the fish business. And I just feel like I've come to a crossroads, and I've had to decide really what where I want to go with things. And just I find myself very gravitated to breeding fish. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. There's a lot to learn. It's really exciting to me. So I feel like going down that road a lot more. And the only thing is, if I'm breeding fish, I got to get rid of those fish. And, I want to breed and raise healthy, happy fish. But, in the end, there's something to be sold there, too. So there's that whole fish for profit thing. It's a scary road to go down. A few people we know are also trying to do the same thing, and it's a spooky road to go down because you're putting a lot on the line, and you're putting livestock on the line as well. So it's interesting. There's been a lot to think about. I've been offered some really awesome jobs. As most of you might know, or might not know, I used to be a pizza chef, a pizzaiolo, classically trained Napolitano pizza chef. And not to gloat, but I'm pretty good at it. I have a very strong passion for that as well. I spent many years doing that and pushing really hard in the internationally, like to have myself be seen internationally in my art and my pizza and stuff like that. And there's a restaurant going in with a $31,000 Italian pizza oven. It's like I'm on an island of 4,500 people, and someone just came on the island with a Ferrari, and I'm the only person on the island that knows how to drive the Ferrari, and they're saying, here you go for it. I think they just assumed I was going to take the job, and I'm having a really hard time. I'm going to have to say no, because I'm choosing fish keeping. I'm choosing the fish keeping industry and the business as well as the hobby over that passion of mine. I just had to really weigh it out. One of the questions I had to ask myself was like, would I rather die in a hot kitchen making pizzas, or would I rather die in a hot fish room full of fish tanks with a fish net in my hands, and I had to choose a fish room with fish nets in my hand. I don't know. I love pizza, and maybe one day I'll do a little mom and pop pizzeria or something with a little side money, set something up, have some fun with that. But I get a lot more satisfaction from working with fish, especially working with wild and protected species. Doing more conservation efforts and stuff like that, and educating young people with through the use of animals, being an animal educator and stuff like that. That's something that's so near and dear to my heart, and I just have to follow my heart. It's one of the points where it's like I'm being given so many cool opportunities, and it's not something I can really complain about at all. But it is a tough choices. But I'm picking the fish, over pizza. Yeah, I didn't want to. I wanted to title the live stream "Fisher Pizza," but I don't think everybody would get that. So I had to come up with something that made a little bit more sense. Dan Slee, thank you for throwing out the links. Dan, we are definitely going to catch up before it gets too super cold. These yellow King Kongs, I keep them at 72 degrees, so they can definitely take the temperature for the most part. But we want to get those out as soon as possible. And I also need to get to Jeremy Morel, which is up in the chat. Good to see you here, man. A good friend now at this point. A really awesome guy over there in Cali, in San Francisco. So I need to get the guppies out to you as well, Jeremy. Just get this stuff done before winter really hits, and then it's kind of quiet time until next season. But I got a lot to ponder in my head. I'm really, deciding what direction I want to go, and I really want to get back to the States where, I do have fish available. There's a lot of things that I would sell if it was more feasible. But just being in the mainland and being able to do overnight FedEx and, be able to drive to see family and friends and go to these events rather than have to fly and get on a boat and fly every time I want to do anything. Seems like complaining a lot. I live on a little island in paradise, and I'm complaining a lot. I don't mean to do that, but it's there's a point when it feels like this island is holding me back from things that I want to do in my life. So, I had fun here being young, playing around when in my 20s and stuff, but I feel like it's time to buckle down and put the nose to the grindstone. I want to build an incredible fish facility, plumb that baby out, set it up nice, and do some really good work, and maybe do something, some things to make a difference. Either it's working with young people and doing animal educating with young people, or just working with some species that deserve some attention and protection, things like that, along with some species for profit that just to help pay the electric bill and stuff like that. Anyways, but I do have to say I am really happy to have all of you guys here as part of the community. We all learn from each other, all of our experiences that we go through in this journey of being fish addicts. We're all learning from each other along each other's journeys and stuff like that. That's why I was really bummed to miss out on hanging out with Dan Slee. He's got some really awesome plants, some killer boost philandra and his shrimp and all that good stuff. And it is a small world though, and I'm not stressing things too hard because I feel like someone like Dan Slee and other people in here, like Jeremy, I will see you guys again. This world's way too small. There's too many events to go to annually. There's too much going on across the globe to not cross paths again. Like, that's just how I look at it. I just try to have a little bit more of an optimistic outlook, but I truly believe that I will see Jeremy again. I will have another chance to see Dan Slee. I better see Amber like really, 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 really soon. Amber, good to see you in here. Big City Betas, how are you? And Priscilla, MK Arts. I didn't mean to pass you up there. Good to see you here as well. Calypso's Reefing, good to see you here. 72 degrees. Yeah, man, it's hot. It was hot here today. It was rainy, so I was out in the bush, and I always bring black plastic bags, and I have a waterproof cover for my camera bag, but I had to hustle. It started to rain in the middle of filming, right on the edge of this little this little creek, and I had to wrap the camera in a plastic bag and wrap everything up and just hold it out under a tree for a minute. And it was like, and then it stopped and the sun came out and it was like a sauna. You could see the steam rolling up through the trees and stuff. It was, I definitely am in the tropics. I'm not going to see snow here anytime soon. Let's see. Good to see everybody being in here. Ginger Graves, good to see you here as well. So yeah, I'm really honestly just trying to figure out. I know I'm making myself a little crazy. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to continue to make content at the same time, kind of trying to break things down within the next year and kind of migrate to back to North America again. It's something I would really like to make happen, but it's going to be a slow but as fast as possible. I really don't want to waste. I really don't want to spend too much time sitting here. What's up, 09 Porcupine? How are you? Good to see you here. Fish Tank Barn, Mike. Mike, how are you? Good to see you here. Melvin, did I miss Melvin? Melvin, oh, Melvin is Storm Riders Aquatics, right? Good to see you in here, Melvin. So yeah, I had a lot of fun collecting guppies today, and like I said, I'm excited. I want to go ahead and like edit it as soon as like tonight. I just want to edit it and post it tomorrow. Not to play around with a little music or something, but nice little interview with a friend of mine right there on the gut. It was fun. I got a nice little cup of tea. It was nice to get rained on in the middle of the tropical, subtropical, I guess is what we would call it here. This is more of a temperate zone. Ginger Graves is asking Amber, what does she feed her macrostomas? 40 breeder. Yeah, I'm like holding off. I'm so ready to work with betas, and I'm ready to get back there and work with Amber's betas. Like, I mean, I'm gonna watch her and learn from her. But I'd like to see what she's got going on there, and I don't plan on like trying any kind of breeding projects here at this point. I'm really on a 6 to 12 month kind of plan. I have a lot of blue tetras. I've been breeding a lot of these blue tetras, and they are very special, and I'm going to have to get them back to the States. I might actually have to just fly with those. My eel, I would like to keep my eel. I'm going to have to fly with him. Anyways, a lot of things I probably shouldn't even be thinking about yet. I got a lot of bills to pay before then. I got a lot of work to do before I can really think about that, but we're getting there. We got to get there. I just feel like I could do a lot more if I was in the States. I'd be able to do a lot more, be able to offer people my fish and stuff like that. Joey, thank you for the sticker, the $10 sticker, super chat, super chat, whatever they call it. But thank you for the $10 super chat sticker. Flying high. Is that a bird? I think it's a bird. Or it looks like a pear, a flying pear. Bloodworms. Amber said bloodworms, blackworms, white worms, and your gel mix. I want to see this homemade Rapashi gel food that Amber's her little recipe. I've got my own little recipe, but I'm curious. Hers has got like raw meat in it, some craziness. I think she's put some raw meat in it. She's got a video on that on her YouTube channel. Priscilla MKR, thank you for the $2 super chat. My eel is bigger than yours. Ha ha. I don't know about that. I'm working about 21, 22 inches on Mr. Elliott. But I'm going to have to fly with Elliott. He's going to have to fly under the plane in a styrofoam container, I think. And the tetras, they're kind of fragile. I don't want them to go in the mail. They're going to have to fly with me as well. My carry-on's just going to be fish. I've done it before, but once again, just so everybody knows out there, if you fly with fish or want to fly with fish, JetBlue does not allow anything but cats and dogs. TSA does allow you to fly with fish as carry-on only, but that's just a TSA law. That doesn't mean that the airline has to follow that law. They don't have to allow that if they don't want to. So JetBlue does not allow you to fly with, well, they said to me, nothing but cats and dogs. No other. No other snakes, reptiles, birds, fish, nothing like that. So I learned that the hard way, and I got lucky though because I got through 2 legs of my flight before the third one, and they told me that, and they were like, "Okay, you got this far, so we're just gonna go ahead and let you keep it, and just go on through." But they wanted the species name and everything like that. But I've been doing it a lot lately. I'm kind of getting used to flying with fish, and you get the funny looks and all that. But I think Delta. I know American Airlines for sure. American Airlines is fine with fish, but they're still really confused. It's so funny. I had one person say, "How does the fish live without water?" Because I was going to go put it up into the. I was going to put my bag up above, and I was like, "It's in water," and they're like, "Wait a minute, how are you having it in water? You can't have water on the plane." And I was like, "No, I can," and I have to go through the whole process. And everybody says just go ahead and keep that link or just screenshot of that page of the TSA website. That is important, but you also have to keep in mind to go check the laws and regulations for the airline that you're flying on. And that also you might have to deal with another airline too, some kind of companion airline that's like taking one of their flights. They might have different rules as well, but I've been lucky so far. The best thing to do is just keep it low key because TSA doesn't care. I mean, TSA is okay with it, so you can get past TSA, but once you get to your gate, just don't make a big deal about it. And you probably just slide on through. Don't let the bag leak. Don't make a scene. Flynn's Fish Forum. How are you, man? Good to see you here in the stream, man. Um, yeah, I gotta start pumping out some content. I do have a lot of stuff from Aquashell, the aquatic experience, and the fish store tours that were done. Like I said, I'm in the middle of editing a couple of them. Now I'm like all excited, and I want to put out this guppy collecting video. I just had fun today. It was nice to be out in the middle of nowhere with my camera and netting up fish. There's some really pretty males that I collected. But like I said, I re-released them all just because. And I got a good interview with this friend of mine. It was a nice little interview with him in the, just, walking through the gardens and stuff like that. He's been on island for over 30 years. He's from Trinidad, so he knows, he can tell me the difference, kind of compare the difference between the guppies that he grew up with in Trinidad and Tobago, which these are supposed to have come from those fish originally. So it was interesting for him to just, give me examples of what the ones in Trinidad are, what they look like compared to the ones here. Anyways, let's see, pothos. Oh, another thing, pothos and philodendron. There was so much of that today that I filmed. Like, I thought of Amber a lot, and I thought of Jeremy a lot. Because there's a lot of like variegated philodendron, all this kind of stuff, and it just grows wild. Like it's wild here. And on my friend's property, he's got everything everywhere. Like there was stuff that I'm just trying not to step on because I'm thinking about Amber, but it's just like everywhere. It's all over the paths and all over the place, and all different varieties and stuff of different pothos and philodendron and just craziness. But I did get some footage of some of that as well. I'll try to throw some of that in there as B-roll and stuff in this video. I want to get cracking on it tonight. Starting to get warm in here. I left the AC off today just for you guys and for me, just for sound quality. My microphone was making noises last week. I listened to the replay, and there was a little crackle and pop, and I don't know. Nobody's complained about anything. Nobody complained about anything then. It wasn't crazy, but it was definitely there. I don't know if I've got a cord going out, microphone going out, soundboard going out. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. Let's get back to the subject at the hand pretty much, just to keep it on point a little bit. Not so much. But, there really is a difference between just fish keeping as a hobby and fish keeping as a business. And I see people come into that conflict when people are having discussions, and when I'm having discussions a lot of times, because you start talking about something and you realize you're coming at it from different points. When, like last night, there was live stream with John and Bob Steenfott, and they were talking about tanks and talking about how, like, the Marineland kit from Petco can be a perfect and a really good deal for someone that just wants to set up an aquarium and have a 20-gallon community tank. But when you're thinking as a breeder, you're like, no, I don't want all that garbage. I don't want all that plastic stuff and those cheap lights and that little, goofy heater that's going to break in 6 months and all that. I just want the tank. That's all I need. So it's like everybody, people are coming. My point is, people come across from different opinions. They're coming from different angles because there is really lots of different micro niches and facets of the hobby, and then beyond that, there's the industry and the business side behind it. You have a lot of hobbyists that are just trying to make, they're making a little bit of money on the side, breeding the things that they love, and it is still a hobby. They are selling, but it's still a hobby. And then you have people that are truly in it for business, where they're most definitely turning a profit. Their goal is to turn a profit, not just break even. I'm on the edge. I'd like to make some money, but at the same time, this is something that I love so dearly that, like, breaking even is almost good enough. It's like to break even and just make a little bit of extra money, that okay, we're good. Like, I just want to be able to buy crazy fish and have a fish room full of crazy fish that I want to keep, and then the other half of the room is stuff that I can sell or something. I don't know. I'm starting to go off on a tangent. I'm rambling. It was a nice day, just deep thinking out in the woods today. So I'm out there today. There's been a lot for me to think about this weekend. But I'm not going anywhere, and the fish keeping hobby is not going anywhere. And for me, it's more than a hobby. I do want it to be my business, but no matter what, fish keeping is a lifestyle for me. It's not just a hobby. I live it. It's like, I might not be a fish farmer, but I wake up that way. Like, my fish come first. I wake up in the morning, and just like if I was a farmer, there's certain things that happen around my house that might happen before me. I might get my coffee, but certain things need to be taken care of as well. And in the fish room, and it's more of a way of life. At a certain point, it goes beyond a hobby. I don't know, but it's just interesting that there's so many different angles to it, and that it can go. There's so many people involved in this hobby. It's a really beautiful thing. You might have one person that just has a little 5-gallon Hex Marineland tank with or a couple of little nano cubes with some shrimp. And then you have other people that have a room with 400 aquariums, and they're breeding 70, 80 plus species of fish. And so it's really awesome, the contrast there, and just just how many different kinds of people are out there, and there's so much to learn. I am rambling today. I'm tired. I was out in the bush and I got beat up. I got scratches and cuts. I was bleeding, and I didn't take the machete with me because I didn't want to look really creepy walking through the neighborhood. I do live on an island, but I still didn't want to look kind of creepy walking through the neighborhood with the machete. So I left it, but I paid the price because I ended up having to push my way through a lot of nasty stuff. We have a lot of trees here, a lot of tropical trees that have barbs and hooks and like stickers on them and stuff, so they grab you, and you almost have to go backwards through them to get out of them. We call it catch and keep, stuff like that. Dan C says, I like all plants except duckweed. It's really crazy because I love duckweed. I love all kinds of different floaters. And speaking of that, I was really excited that I found salvinia. Somehow, it was a hitchhiker. Somehow I got it. It came in probably with some azolla that I had in a bag. So at this point, I have duckweed, frogbit, azolla, salvinia, water lettuce. Yeah. I'm really I like having all those different floaters. I love duckweed. It can be a nuisance, but it can be controlled. There's ways to control it. But it's just a really nice way to cover the surface of the water really quickly in different situations when you're trying to make fish comfortable. You know, it gives some surface coverage just to make the fish feel a little bit more comfortable. William Jansen, thank you for putting out the link there for the PayPal. PayPal is awesome just because it's not like YouTube takes what 30%. It's so crazy. YouTube makes so much money off of advertising already. They should not take that kind of chunk out of people for the super chats. When people are trying to support people, not trying to support YouTube like that, that's a huge chunk. Like 5% would make sense or something like that. But it's just weird. Let's see. What is Amber talking about in here? What is everybody's got a little conversation going on here? Ginger and Amber. Yeah, I need to get some plant tanks going on for Amber over there. I need to help her with the plants. I'm not doing so bad, but I'll have to tell you, my bucephalandras are much happier living in an immersed in the paludarium. I prefer to keep my buces out of the water because I want them to grow. And when I keep them out of the water, immersed, they grow. And, you know, that's all I know. So I'm having fun with them, but I see myself having more of like an immersed garden of bucephalandras and different things. I don't know that I really want to keep them underwater for the most part. Maybe in in a paludarium in an environment with other stuff. Right now I need to do a video on my paludarium, but I have about 4 or 5 different species of bucephalandra and whatnot. There's in the tank, and it's really happy because I just let it hang out on the sides of the waterfall. So it's got this constant flow of water that comes down, but they're not in the water. They're on the edge, and they constantly can wick up water, and it's like 98% humidity in there. They're content, and if anything, the light might be a little too hot for them. Everybody's chatting about plants in the stream. I'm really excited about that the hygrophila spider. I cut it up. I took the stems and literally took each node had roots coming out, so I cut it down to each individual node, and I just stuck those in the ground as individual little plants, and I have a whole bunch of that coming up slowly. It's got a bunch of new green growth, and I love different kinds of hygrophila, and when I saw that spider, I was so excited. Just those red veins and the red stripes in it, so cool, so cool. Let's see. CTG, how are you? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, big things are gonna come here, I hope. I'm working hard on some stuff. Amber's working hard on some stuff too over there. Not to divulge too much, but gotta hustle. You know, I just feel like there's an opportunity to I guess what I was saying before. I enjoy breeding fish. I enjoy working with species, especially species that deserve some attention. But at the same time, I'm going to breed those fish. Now I have fish. You know, what am I going to do with them? I don't want to breed them for nothing. So yeah, they need to be sold. But you know, I don't know. That's in the end result. That is a business. Goodbye for now. All right, Joe, you take care. We have to catch up once you're on the island. Jeremy, we have to catch up, yeah, on those not the blue tetras, but the on the wild guppies, because I'm breaking down this tub behind me, and I'm gonna go through the stock that I have in that tub, and I'm gonna be doing some shipments from that very soon, and then replenishing that stock with another grow out tub that I have out on another piece of property with a whole bunch more of them. So I just wanted to go ahead and I'd like to give you some of what's in here. There's some really nice ones in this batch, and I'm also going to send some. I need to get some females out to Amber. She needs another group of females, so that's a plan too. So anyways, it seems like a lot of stuff is up in the air, but it's kind of like I also know what I need to do. If I took the restaurant job, I would not be able to do YouTube like I want to. I wouldn't be able to take care of the fish that I have like I'd like to. And yeah, I just wouldn't have time to edit or do any of that kind of stuff. So, it's what I have to do. Oh, here's this. I'm going to go ahead and shoot across to that. Why not? These are the little fry. These are the blue tetra fry up at the surface. This is live, obviously, in the tank in the other room. And they're all hanging out the top, whole bunches of them. Um, they got fed just a little bit ago. I'm gonna give them. They need another hour or so, and then they're gonna get. They get their second feeding, and then they'll get a third feeding. But those are nano blue tetra fry. It was really cool to see the egg go through the whole process from being deposited from the female on the glass to hatching. The egg developed and hatched within 24 hours. Pretty fast. I didn't have really defined eyeballs at that point even. They're little shards of glass. It took them a while before there was actually like little black eyeballs, even after they hatch. So they're definitely like an infusoria eater for the first week or so, and then you can really start getting them onto other stuff. Like I was saying, some powdered food and microworms, and then live baby brine shrimp. But I'd like to have enough of these out there for other people so then they can be kind of sold. I'd love to see these blue tetras make it to the pet trade. That's going to take a little while because I need to get them into some other hands and know that we have a secured population of them, multiple secured populations of them, and then it makes sense selling groups of them to pet shops. It would be really nice to be able to offer those to people. So that's something cool that would, I like, within the next year, 2, 3 years, it'd be nice to be able to offer those to pet stores, to individuals online or something like that as well. All right. I had some problems with the mouse. I know it's embarrassing to say that there's a mouse. I think it's more like a rat. But there is a rodent that has made its way into my house, and I have to take care of it. It ate through 2 airlines last night. It chewed holes into 2 airlines last night. So irate, and the hardware store's closed on Sundays, so I can't buy rat traps. I had to get the glue traps that have the grocery store, and I don't like to use those glue traps. I just like the good old-fashioned mouse trap. Just bam and take care of things. So I got it. That's a war I have to fight soon enough here and get that handled. Let's see. Aquabid, everybody's saying Aquabid is an excellent platform for selling livestock. Aquabid is a good platform for that. I think it's a good step between that and Dan's Fishes also has a good site, but I think those are just steps before having your own website and just being completely solely responsible for your own business, no middleman or anything like that. I think that's a good end result, but there's definitely a lot of good places, especially for hobbyists that just have 1 or 2 species that they're playing with, they're trying to sell. Aquabit is a really good place for that. And I feel a lot of times, depending on what it is, you can get really healthy fish when you're buying from other hobbyists because they're taken care of a lot better, and haven't gone through all the stress of being imported. They're not covered with different bacterias or have a bunch of internal parasites and stuff from being wild caught. Tetras, I think most fish, if you just give them lots of live foods and give them lots of coverage, give them what they want in nature, recreate that biotope, they're going to do it for you. They're going to do it for you. I like the way I've been setting up the tanks for these blue tetras. I'd like to recreate that with, say, even neon tetras or some of those little blue neon tetras or something like that. And I would like to just see if it works with them as well. It's possible. I'm sure it would. And just change it up a little bit. Anyways, got plenty of time for that in the future. My goal is to get off this island within the next 12 months, honestly. That's kind of where I'm at. That's really where I'd like to be, and that's what I'm trying to make happen. So it's a mad rush to move everything that I can up to the States. The tanks themselves will probably have to stay. So much cheaper to buy them. But everything will migrate up there slowly. Just kind of liquidate everything I own. That's kind of where I need to be. Need to be back up there with you guys, closer to these events. Being able to tour across the states and make it to all these events like I've always wanted to do. Like I was able to do this season kind of for a little bit, but I'd like to be able to recreate that annually, and eventually be able to like go to some of these events and have a booth of my own. That would be nice. So let's see, Alan's Alien World Aquatics. How are you? Ooh, Ginger Graves, you're having fun with the beta fish, huh? Very cool. Very cool. I need to see some video and some pictures of that stuff. That's really cool. Your Coxina spawn. You weren't prepared. Yeah. So the thing is, almost have to have always have a bunch of tanks ready. That's where the multi-tank addiction comes in, because there's always the excuse to have more tanks around, just because, just in case. Yeah, neon tetras. I'm sure that they're just like almost overrated to me, but why not? I mean, I'd like to breed them if I can breed them. If nothing, there's a lot of fish that I'd like to breed just to say that I've bred them. Like just maybe just to do it, check it off the list. Might not be super profitable, but it's still fun for me. And or stuff that's conservation. That's different too, because those fish I'm not looking to sell them. Even like the blue tetras, they're not really kind of possibly on the market. They're not available. I can't sell them right now. I need to write some papers, and I need to get them out to some other get them out to some universities or something like that. Get them to some groups of people that are going to breed them as well. Make sure that the genetics are preserved by more than just me. Let's see. Well, I hope you guys are all enjoying your Sunday. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you get some water changes done. I'm letting it get really nice and warm up in here. We got these sticker super chats. Is that a hippopotamus? A hippopotamus in a chest full of coins. Ginger Grace, thank you for the $50 super chat. That's the moving fund. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You didn't have anything posted in that super chat, and I was going to say that. Just go to the moving fund. My plan is to really organize all my stuff and just like have this minimal lifestyle over the next year, and just get all of my fish keeping stuff in totes, my personal effects in totes, and then I have my clothes, have my basic stuff, but be able to just maybe in like 6 totes have everything, all my basic stuff, and the rest of this stuff just needs to just go, and find a way to still create content, still have fish here to the last minute, and just show that whole process. So I'm sure down the line there, part of this content will be me just showing my experiences of migrating back to the mainland, and that can only be a good thing, because it'll give me opportunity to play with a lot more fish, and that's really where I want to be. It's very tough when you're trying to breed fish. You get very limited when it comes to tanks, just like Ginger Grays right there. I mean, you have species all of a sudden they breed. Amber's having fish breed in quarantine tanks. Of course, she has stuff ready. She's got a huge facility, a lot of tanks, so she's got tanks ready and everything like that. But just to have, fish are so excited to have things happen that they're already spawning in like quarantine tanks and stuff, and it's pretty cool. I'm trying to look at all the stuff in the chat. Sharpie was talking about being closer. That's a big thing too, is being back in the States, being able to just go on road trips to these different events. Go on, do like hit the circuit basically. This is another one that's coming up. It's coming up in 2020. This is the it's going to be the 2020 American Live Bear Association Convention. Is going to take place. It's sponsored by the Gold Coast Aquarium Society, South Florida. It's probably one of the largest aquarium societies in Florida. And obviously, most of you probably know that Florida is the epicenter of the ornamental fish farming industry in the United States. The Florida Fish Farming Association is a huge association as well. But this is a really cool event. This is going to be June 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. They're going to do all kinds of cool stuff at this event. They're going to be doing some wild collecting live bears, cichlids, killies, catfish, other natives. They're going to visit fish farms, outdoor fish stores, plant farms, tropical fish show. There's going to be 40 plus vendors over the weekend. There's going to be a huge auction on Sunday. It's going to be a silent and rare fish auction, which is dangerous. So that's going to be cool. That's a little bit down the road, but it's still coming. That's something that would be really nice to be in Florida for. So we'll see how that goes. That's another reason why I'd like to move to Florida. There's so much that happens there in the industry and in the world of fish, ornamental fish farming and breeding and stuff. So I got a lot of friends there too. So Brian P, how are you? Welcome to the stream. The Loach guy, how are you? Thank you again, Ginger Graves, for that $50 super chat for this $50 super sticker super chat. But we'll have to see what happens over the next year or two. There's big things coming, that's for sure. I'm going to come up with a very creative way to be able to share that with you guys through content. That's what I say, some more vlog style stuff. This will also give me a good way of utilizing Patreon too, especially when things are getting down and dirty. I just need to figure out, honestly, I think what's holding me back with doing simple stuff on Patreon is I need to get good with using Patreon on my phone, so I can do like I do with Instagram, do a quick video or something on my phone, upload it directly. I believe I can do that, upload it directly to Patreon. I don't know, or upload it to YouTube and just make it unlisted or something. I got to figure that out, but I want to be able to post to Patreon from my phone. That would be really, really nice. And, post videos and stuff like that, updates. I need to figure that one out. Ginger Graves, most definitely. I will be getting back to the mainland. I will be. It's gonna happen. It has to happen. It just has to happen. It's fun and awesome and all that good stuff here, but especially being in Florida, it's easy enough to come from Florida to here, to be able to come here and visit for a weekend or something, or a week or something. Come down and see friends it's easy. Amber's gonna outbid me. I'm not even gonna try to compete against her. I'm not gonna let her outbid me. Papa's Shrimp in Aquatics. Have you been in here this whole time and I've missed you, or did you just pop in out of nowhere? The tote fun. You just been hanging out and lurking. Papa Shrimp Aquatics. Thank you for the $20 super chat, man. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, the totes. I'm doing those Rubbermaid totes, the black totes with the yellow lids you get from Home Depot. I've used those before for traveling, for moving, and you can zip tie them up, so I could kind of like just ship them with zip ties, and if TSA or whatever they need to, they can cut the zip ties and re-zip tie. But I really plan on doing something like that. I'm going to get like 6 of those totes and try to see if I can keep it to that. So I'm not trying to spend a whole bunch of money on shipping a bunch of, I really have to decide. I'll pick up everything and be like, is this worth its weight in USPS or on an airline, Anyways, but I don't need much. I used to live out of a backpack for many years. It's just now I do have all this stuff, and it's weird stuff that's not that easy to get rid of. It's all nerdy, like lab equipment. My microscope here, that's definitely going with me. Stuff like that, basic lab equipment and stuff will go with me. But anyways, I'm thinking about it now because I'm like, gotta get myself on that mindset. I will relax about it and just go with the flow here soon enough. But it's just kind of like a lot of decisions having to be made pretty quickly, just so that I can. For me, I like to have a game plan in order to kind of start walking down the road. I need to know, like when a couple go out to go eat, but they don't decide where they're gonna go eat until after they leave. I believe you should just like figure out where you're gonna go eat before you get in the car, before you walk out the door, so you're not standing out driving down the road going, where do we eat? Well, where do you want to eat? You want to eat over here? Oh, over here. And then you're driving around in circles. That's like with life, I like to kind of like know basic direction where I'm driving. Then it makes sense to be driving and working so hard. So I'm just trying to fine tune that. I'm rambling on, but yeah, just fine tuning my goal. And I'm just finding myself, the fish keeping hobby is becoming more of a business for me every day. and I see that, and I definitely want to stay grounded and never forget about the hobby and not stop being a hobbyist. I think that's the whole goal here, is to be able to just more than anything break even and be able to live my hobby to its fullest and make it my livelihood. I think it's a dreamy thing, but I think it's accomplishable. Mike is asking me how many fish expeditions have I been on. I go out all the time and do stuff locally here, little mini adventures like I did today. But I was in Peru. Besides that, I just grew up. My parents were in the pet trade when I was a kid in Mexico. They used to import exotic animals such as iguanas and exotic birds from Mexico when I was a kid. So I grew up in the animal pet trade import business. Um, but that's one of my goals as well, is to do a lot more expeditions and or collecting trips. Me and Amber have been talking about some stuff to Thailand, Indonesia, something like that, looking for wild betta fish. That would be something really cool. I would like to make it down to South America again, maybe Colombia or Brazil this time. But those are all things that are definitely going to come in the future. That's also part of it, you know, that dream idea. If I sell enough guppies and red cherry shrimp, I can go to Peru again. I don't know. Um, eventually these things will be able to be funded and be able to happen. I definitely see that happening. And definitely, I'm not going anywhere on YouTube. So as these things happen, like to me, there's no stress at this point on YouTube because I'm not looking at YouTube where sponsorships is my way of making money. I've said it recently that my goal is to sponsor myself, to be sponsored by myself in my own business. And then it kind of takes the load off of YouTube. YouTube is fun again for me. When it's not like, oh man, I put a lot of work into this and it's got to make me money. No, I don't, not worried about that. Like, I'm do YouTube for fun. I do my fish for fun, for the passion, and maybe for money. But uh, YouTube AdSense is nothing. I mean, the super chats is very very appreciated, and it helps make this all happen. It makes these dreams come true. Um, but I see my money coming from me working hard and having my own business, not from YouTube. Um, so I want YouTube, like I said, that keeps YouTube fun. That takes the load off, takes the pressure off. And for me, YouTube is a way for me to share with you my experiences following my dreams in the fish keeping hobby and in the fish industry. And yeah, then it's fun because I'm just sharing with you guys. I'm having fun with you guys. Maybe someone can learn something along the way through those experiences, and that's kind of how I want to look at it. I pushed really really hard for a couple of years, but you have to take a step back and look at what am I doing and what do I want out of life and what makes me really happy. Breeding fish makes me really happy. Working with kids makes me really really happy. I really like to work with young people more and use fish and animals as a way to educate young people and kind of help keep them grounded and educate them about life science and biology and nature and stuff like that. So I definitely look forward to working with youths if I have if anything to say about it, and just breeding fish and other wildlife. I like working with snakes and other reptiles and stuff like that as well. So I definitely look forward to doing that. I really was enjoying Camp Kinnon did a video this morning where he pulled out one of his lizards, and it was just really it was nice to see how he just doesn't it's not a big deal for him to pick up this big massive lizard that weighs probably a third to half his weight and just like pick it up and carry it around when it could totally bite him, give him deep lacerations super fast. But anyways, it was fun to watch that. I like watching his content. I don't necessarily need a bunch of huge massive lizards, but they are fun as well. I definitely don't mind working with animals like that, that's for sure. I'm not scared of them, that's for sure. I've been bitten and beat up enough by large iguanas as a kid to kind of get past the wrestling of a large reptile. All right, I just feel like I'm rambling on today. I do appreciate the super chat from Papa Shrimp and from Ginger Graves. Thank you all so much. That is all really just goes right back into getting. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff to do over the next year. I do have breeding that I'm still doing. There's still some breeding that's happening, but just everything at this point, I'm trying to get my fish up there, up north to Vermont, And then the fish that are sellable, at least if they're up there in Vermont, I can sell them from there. You can actually, you could purchase them from Amber, and like my wild guppies, I hope to have a population up there available for sale, and my blue tetras, I hope to have a population of them up there as well. And so that's kind of the plan over the next year: is migrate my main stocks, my important species, and then liquidate everything else. I have this massive computer. I have no idea how to get that to the States. It's huge. It's beast. It's got like 2 handles on it to pick it up. It's like some big massive monster gaming machine, like a editing machine. And I don't know how I'm going to send that. I feel like I'm gonna have to get a pallet, just ship a whole pallet of my stuff to Florida. That might be what I do. Stack everything, wrap it in plastic on a pallet. Ginger Graves, you and Priscilla and Amber going off here on the beta fish. You've got your eyes on some pretty fish. The Coxina and the Embellis. You and Amber need to talk about some betas, that's for sure. And Amber needs to make a video. I know she's editing some stuff. I'm just waiting to see some stuff come out. I know I shouldn't put any pressure on. I gotta make my own videos. Anyways, I hope you guys are all enjoying your Sunday afternoon. Please keep in mind there's a whole lineup of content coming up next here. We have Aquafunk going on at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Then we have Susie Q Aquatics. And I wanted to say, I did not mean to like steal her title. I had no idea. I honestly am an airhead sometimes. I totally missed that. And Susie Q did a title and topic in thumbnail that I pretty much copied, and I did not mean to copy. I was trying to stay on the same subject that everybody was kind of talking about over the day, and I thought it would just make sense that we all kind of stay on the same subject. Just the whole Sunday kind of talking about the same thing, kind of, everybody's different perspective and their different inputs. But that wasn't planned, obviously, and I didn't think about it, and I could see how it looked like I just totally copied her thing, and I was not trying to do that at all. I'm so bummed about that. It came across wrong. I went to her. I tried to apologize to her. I don't know if she got that message or not. But, yeah, that was weird last week. I didn't mean to do that the way I did, or the week before last, actually, I think. Anyways, it's getting really hot in here. I want to turn off. It's so warm here. I know nobody wants to hear about how hot it is here, but it's been a really hot, humid day because of the rain. It made it a lot more humid, which really is what makes it just so thick and sticky. And yeah, I like to turn off the AC unit for when I'm streaming with you guys, just so that it sounds a little bit nicer. I don't know. King and Queen Cichlids, how are you? So yeah, did I get stopped up on there on Suzy Q Aquatics? Thank you, King, and you come in and remind me. So we got the lineup coming up here in the next 5 minutes. We've got Aquafunk going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Suzy Q Aquatics, and then after that at 8 p.m. we have King and Queen Cichlids, Scott and Liz, doing their awesome live stream thing. I really enjoy their streams, and I'm definitely going to try to make it in there, pop in there while I'm cooking dinner. But no, I do want to say thank you to all of you that keep up with everything that's going on. There's a whirlwind of things happening here for me, which is really awesome. It's all good stuff, but it's like I want to build on what I'm doing and keep breeding, but at the same time I want to liquidate things because I want to migrate back to the mainland. So there's just kind of a little bit of a battle, and just have to figure out how to continue to make content, slowly migrate, get moved out of here, and I'm so excited to be back in the States at one point or another here within the next year. Tentatively the plan is to be up there with Miss Amber up there in Vermont, and we're gonna wreak some havoc together in a fish room, and hopefully we won't break any glass. So definitely, everybody check out those streams all coming up this afternoon. This is a nice little Sunday of live streams all through the morning as well. We got live streams, so Sunday's a good day for fishy goodness on the YouTube platform. Yeah, I'm sweating. You might not see a little bit of the the gleam and the glow, but it is getting warm in here. I got 3 lights on me and all that goodness. So I should have a guest on next Sunday. It might be Amber. If not, it'll be someone else awesome and cool. I plan on doing, having a guest on next Sunday. I don't know what was going on with Thursday afternoons. I swear, I guess Corey does a 2-hour live stream right when I thought I was doing my 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time live stream. So I don't know what's going on with Thursday still. That's up in the air. I got to figure that out. I don't necessarily need to be doing 2 live streams a week. For sure. I really need to be making 2 pieces of content a week. That's more important than 2 live streams, honestly. As far as the algorithm is concerned, to be honest, for anybody out there making content, the algorithm would rather see 2 nice videos with heavy engagement than 2 live streams. That's for sure. Anyways, let's see. Jeremy, I just wanted to say hi and bye, hi again. Just, it was really nice to meet you in San Francisco. It was really nice to hang out with another a fish nerd, plant nerd, botanist, horticulturalist, conservationist. It was really, really cool. Definitely look forward to getting back out to San Francisco one of these days, checking out making my way back to the San Francisco Bay Aquarium Society again. That would be really cool. I look forward to that. It's 30 degrees Fahrenheit there. It is about 85, 86 degrees outside, and I'm hitting about 80, 82 in the apartment with the lights and the tanks running. But it takes a minute, so the tanks are probably going to raise about 3 degrees for me to do this live. Not 3 degrees. I'm sorry, that's a little extreme. They're going to raise about 1 degree, maybe 1.5 degrees. Now with the Caridina shrimp, that actually is a little bit more than you need to put them through. But everybody else is fine. But yeah, the apartment heats up enough to actually raise the temperature of the tanks for a minute. And then I get the AC back on and get the tanks back down to 73 degrees. Because that's where I like to keep it. I realized after visiting a bunch of fish rooms in the States that I have a cold water fish room. 72, 73 degrees is cooler. I do hit, I get almost to 69 sometimes at night. So I have a cold water fish room, I guess. I do have cold water fish, so it all works out. I mean, most of these fish that most of these fish are from Peru, from South America, in areas where the water is really, really cold. Zin Ginger, thank you for throwing out the the like there. I appreciate that. So it's 6 o'clock right now. Everybody make your way over to Aquafunk's stream for his stream right now. As far as I'm pretty sure he's going live. And then, like I say before, it's 7 o'clock. We have Susie from Q Aquatics. Check her out. And don't you guys forget King and Queen Cichlids at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then I believe at 9 o'clock someone else is going live. After that, Sharpie, is it Sharpie Model Aquatics goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I'm not sure about that. But Select Pets, how are you? Good to see you here as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to turn the AC back on. I plan on having a guest on here with me next week. If not, I'm going to have some solid content to talk about. Look forward to a wild guppy like adventure coming up this week, as well as a fish store tour of 2 stores in Chicago. I have that coming up as well. And then Dance Lee, yes, we need to catch up and get the ball rolling on these yellow King Kongs. Be careful talking about 69 at night. Ha ha, Sharpie. Okay. I didn't even need to read that out loud. Priscilla, you take care. Everyone take care. Everybody make your way over to Aquafunk. You guys have a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Hope you guys have some time with family and just take care of your tanks. And remember, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.